Hello everyone, my name is NewFlowerGirl, which you can call me Demi, and welcome back to another Aftertalk. Today's Aftertalk is about the Formula 1 2022 Grand Prix of Azerbaijan at the Baku Street Circuit. I have considered making a podcast about Baku, but I'm not so sure because the track isn't that old. I believe it only ended up on the calendar in 2017, so I believe the track is now like 5 years old. It's been on the calendar for 5 years now. But yeah, this is the only thing that I'm going to be talking about. I might talk about some things that happened in Le Mans, which happened at second weekend. I stayed up to watch the full night thing. Try to, at least. I kinda did do it, so I just fell asleep every 5 minutes or something. Anyway, we're going to be talking about what happened in the first free practice and all sorts, qualifying and the grid, if there were any like penalties and stuff, and what happened during the race. But yeah, let's go. So the first thing that happened was Mick Schumacher in FP1 had some issues. I believe hydraulics, it doesn't show. He had some issues with the car and he was only able to drive 3 laps, and there was a virtual safety car deployed. They do that every so often when the car is near a spot where they can easily remove it, but drivers do need to slow down. So yeah, that's what happened. And then the next one was Nicholas Latifi. He also had some issues. I can't remember what issues it was. But yeah. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, they've gone crazy from bouncing a lot. I mean, that bouncing was crazy. It was way too much. It was like the bouncing of all the tracks they've been to combined into one race. And 5 laps into the race, or like something like 10 laps into the race, Lewis was already on the radio saying that his back was killing him. So yeah, he did make it through the entire race. Don't worry, he made it. But yeah, it's gonna get better after Great Britain, which is July the 1st. It starts that weekend, so yay. He has to sit through one more weekend of straight up bouncing, and that's Canada, which is this weekend. But yeah, Fernando Alonso and Alpine, just Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso have been fast all weekend. Checo Perez got the fastest lap time with 1 minute 45.476. Charles Leclerc was behind that, only 0.127 behind, and then Max Verstappen was behind Leclerc's time with 0.207. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good one. I didn't watch it fully because I was at Subway getting myself a wrap. But yeah, luckily my sister came back and she said like, but I want to rewatch it. And I was like, yes, I get to watch the start. So yeah. Then FP2. Bit different. The top 3 has been rearranged. This time it was Charles Leclerc in first with a 1 minute 43.224. Checo Perez was only 0.248 behind that. And behind that was Max Verstappen with 0.108 to Checo Perez. Fernando Alonso was it once again speed. Esteban Ocon 2. I believe there was... Oh no, wait, that was FP3, never mind. there was something with Alexander Albon. He went a bit too close to the wall on like the last few corner combinations. He actually clipped the wall, and there's footage of it, and that just shows that he was really pushing, like he was on a push lap. Suspension was broken, but yeah, that was it. He was able to make it back to the pits, so that's good. Yeah, most laps driven was by Sebastian Vettel, 27 laps. FP3. We'll go on to that one now. Go away, pop-up ads. I'm not sure if anything bad happened here. And I knew Valtteri Bottas had some braking issues, but that was it. Yeah. I know that Sebastian Vettel went into the wall. No, wait, that might have been qualifying. I can't remember. And once again, the top 3 was the same. 3 people. Actually, it was the same as FP1, but different times. So Perez had a 1 minute 43.170. Charles Leclerc was only 0.070 behind that, and behind that was Max Verstappen with 0.209. Fernando Alonso wasn't as fast there. Yeah. It was a satisfying one. I didn't watch all of it. Or I couldn't watch it because I was at work. And once again, I was in time for qualifying. Last one, where it was like qualifying at 4 as well. I got back on like about 5 minutes before the actual qualifying started. So I was super happy, and here I was super happy too. I only missed I missed like a few minutes when they got out, but I was able to see something that Lance Stroll did. Please go to Q1, please. Thank you. So the people eliminated in Q1 were Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll, Nicholas Latifi, Alexander Albon, and Kevin Magnussen. So Lance Stroll actually went into the wall twice. Yeah. He went into the wall in the corner before Castle, which is like narrow part. And I never knew this, but there is an actual castle there. I mean, in all my life watching Formula 1, I never knew that. I never thought that it was an actual castle there. But there was an actual castle. I am stupid. And then in turn 2, Lance Stroll, on the exit of turn 2, he got out again and caused the red flag. I believe it was the only red flag in Formula 1. And once again caused by Lance Stroll. Yeah. He was not having a good weekend. Yeah. Max Verstappen had the fastest time with a 1 minute 42.722. Yeah. And Hamilton was like very close to like to like an exit to Q2. But he made it through. Luckily. Q2. Let's go. If he wants to lift. Go away advertisements. So the people eliminated here were Valtteri Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Lando Norris. Yeah, Lando, he was on a good lap and he aborted it. But, you know, he made up during the race. Lewis Hamilton, this was probably like the first time Lewis was faster than his teammate. And Checo Perez was at the top with a 1 minute 41.952. So that's the first 1 minute 41 we've seen. Ferrari couldn't even get to it. It was like 0.091 between Leclerc and Perez. Yeah. Q3 standings. Let's go. So this time it was Charles Leclerc. He got pole. He was happy. And he also drove a 1 minute 41, but this time it was a 1 minute 41.359. Perez was next to it. George Russell again out qualifying his teammates. And Fernando Alonso P10. Also was fast as heck. But let's go to the grids. I believe there were no penalties given. So yeah. Yeah, no, there were no penalties. I do have to say, Max Verstappen took a new engine, but it was only like his second engine, or its first swap out of the first engine swap out of the season. So there was no penalty awarded for that. You can have 3 new engines without taking a penalty. And if you need a 4th, then you take a penalty. Even if you then, after that, change some engine stuff, like the ICE system or the CPU, MGUH, MGUK, all that stuff, if you change one of them out on your 3rd engine, or it's the 3rd time you need a 4th part, then you get a grid penalty. So yeah, there it goes. So on pole position we had Charles Leclerc with next to him Sergio Perez. On the 2nd row we had Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. It's a colourful grid, a colourful front row you should say. And George Russell and Pierre Gasly on the 3rd row. On the 5th row we had Lewis Hamilton and Yuki Tsunoda. On the 5th row we had Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. On the 6th row we had the McLarens of Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. 7th row Esteban Ocon and Guan Yu Zhao. 8th row Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen. On the 9th row the Williamses of Alexander Albon and Nicholas Latifi. And then on the 10th row, Lance Stroll and Mick Schumacher. Let's go. The race. Well, let's just say Ferrari was not doing good. Oh wait, Lance Stroll got DNF. Huh. Lance Stroll DNF? Wow. Funny. Did not know that. I mean, it's not funny for the team, but I did not know that because they didn't tell us. But the DNFs were Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Guan Yu Zhao, Kevin Magnussen, and apparently Lance Stroll. So the first 4 who DNF'd, that was Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Guan Yu Zhao, Kevin Magnussen, all had Ferrari engines. They all had Ferrari engines. But Carlos Sainz, he crashed. He didn't crash. I mean, no one crashed. Carlos Sainz, he had an issue with his gearbox. It all of a sudden just shot off. It's like a wire that broke, and on the replay you could actually see the car like bumping forward. And then about like 13 laps later, Charles Leclerc's engine blew. The engine gave up on him, and it was like puff of smoke, all power gone. That's what happened. Then Guan Yu Zhao, he had a more of well, Leclerc actually made it back to the pits. Sainz had to stop at turn 4-ish, around there. Leclerc made it back to the pits. Guan Yu Zhao, he was having a good weekend until the race. Yeah, shame. He got guided back to the pits. His team saw that there was an engine issue and called him into the pits. And then Kevin Magnussen, his engine also gave up. Yeah. There were 2 virtual safety cars on track. The first one was from Carlos Sainz, the second one was from Kevin Magnussen. And then Lance Stroll actually retired, so yeah. There was something else with Yuki Tsunoda. His DRS was doing a bit funny. All of a sudden, on a spot where there was no DRS available, the thing just broke. So when he got back into the pits, he got the meatball flag. Meatball is basically a black flag with an orange dot. That's the meatball flag, we call it. It's basically a funny way to call out different flags. Yeah. That basically means that you have an issue on the car, a visible issue on the car, and you have to go to the pits to get it fixed, or you have to find the first spot where you can stop and retire. He got back to the pits, changed his tires, and then his team got out with some Formula 1 duct tape and fixed it. And then later they told Pierre Gasly and the Red Bull drivers to not use their DRS. And that is because that issue could have happened to them too. And that would have probably made it so Lewis Hamilton got onto the podium. And George Russell would have won. Probably. Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, they were chasing Fernando. They couldn't quite reach him. So yeah. Sebastian Vettel got a good start. Pierre Gasly actually was joking on the radio, like on his last, in the last lap. It's like coming out of turn 16 and I was like, I took the runoff. And then he got over the finish and was like, I was joking. He's a funny fella. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Lewis Hamilton had trouble getting out of the car. It might cause regulations to change to make sure porpoising isn't that bad. That porpoising might still happen, but it's not as bad as it was. Because Lewis was actually having real trouble getting out of the car, and it's not what he deserves. He deserves a car that doesn't bounce at all, like a Red Bull. I mean, Ferrari was bouncing too. Like maybe Lewis deserves a McLaren because they weren't bouncing that much. I mean, it was funny with Yuki Tsunoda because he's so small. He's like the smallest driver, and you know it's just funny with Yuki Tsunoda. He didn't have that much bouncing, but still, it was funny. I said in the last video that George Russell was going to finish P4. Guess who got P4? No, it wasn't George. It was Lewis Hamilton. George got P3. He broke his pattern. If I didn't say that he was going to be P4, then he would have been P4. Then maybe Pierre Gasly got a podium. Checo Perez, he got second, and Max Verstappen in P1. Yay! I believe the fastest pit stop went to Alpine. I believe. Let me go and check. Oh wait, that's not. Is it this one? No, that's fastest lap. Where can I see who got the fastest pit stop? Go with advertisements. Let me look him up. It might have been Esteban Ocon. I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. I think he might have. Sebastian Vettel went faster. I think it might have been Vettel. Yeah, it was Vettel. It was Sebastian Vettel. But the pit stops, they were quite slow this entire weekend. Yeah, they were like in the threes and stuff. It was not good. Like really bad. Wait, no, it doesn't. But anyway, let's go to the standings so far. So, Ferrari needs to do their homework. Leclerc has dropped from P2 in the championship to P3. Perez has risen to P2. George Russell is coming to. Lewis Hamilton is also climbing. Yeah. Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi still need to score points. It will happen at some point. Yeah. Max Verstappen actually has a round number now. It is 150 points. 150 points. Quite a nice round number. It is a round number. And then Checo Perez with 129 behind them. And Charles Leclerc with 116. And then George Russell with 99 points, to be precise. But Mr. Consistency has gone into the points like every race so far. It's like in the top 5. That's what you call consistency, mister. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton. The only race he didn't get into the points was Imola, but he got lapped as well. Yeah. Wait, did Sainz get points in Imola? I mean, he DNF'd, right? That's not how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah. So next week, they're going back. Next weekend, they're going back to Montreal. It has been since 2019. That was the last time they went to Montreal. And I'm excited for it. The times will be late at night because it's Canada. Hurrah and huzzah. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. After that is Silverstone. And by my guess, it will be a Brit who will win the race. Doesn't matter who, it will be a Briton. I mean, it would be funny if Alexander Albon got onto the podium. Or gets the victory, because he's half Briton. You know, he deserves it. He deserves it. You know, it would give Williams their first victory since Barcelona 2012. Given by Pastor Maldonado. Or maybe Guan Yu Zhou. I mean, he's only got 1 point. That's sad. Yeah. Maybe Lando would be fun. Or would be good. It would be a good one for Lewis. To, you know, it would bring the confidence back to him in Silverstone. But yeah. But for this weekend, we're gonna have to keep an eye out for Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi because they are Canadians. Might be a good race for Latifi to score some points, and maybe for Lance Stroll to finish. Yeah. Yeah. But that's it. I don't have anything. Oh wait. There were warnings. Oh, it was also from like Formula 2. We're gonna look at the penalty points actually. So Guan Yu Zhou, George Russell and Sebastian Vettel all have 1. Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon, Lewis Hamilton, Kimi Raikkonen and Lando Norris got 2. And Antonio Giovinazzi 3 test driver. Wait. It says from 2022, but Nikita Mazepin is still in there. That's odd. But yeah, probably didn't update it. But anyway, that's it for today's Aftertalk video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a big fat thumbs up. My mom's actually leaving right now, so that's why she opened the door. I'm the only one at home right now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it if you did. Subscribe if you're new. That's it from me for now, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye!